Hey, how's it going, lovely people? Hope you're well and welcome to the 4th of June edition of the Summer Daily News Show. Hope you guys are well. My name is Callum, representing Team Kopish. Before we get started into the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you're one of our regulars, you know what to do. Smash the like button and let's get going. Right, so a few topics to get into today. First and foremost, we've got to start with our right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Unfortunately for him, he's been ruled out of the Euros, which is a really tough one and horrible irony when you look at it, because for a lot of the talk over the last couple of weeks was that he was going to be left out of the squad, and Gareth Southgate was getting a lot of flack, and rightly so, because in my opinion, Trent is the best right back in the world. And no, even if you don't think he's the best right back in the world, he's definitely top 5. And if he's a top 5 right back, he should be, in my opinion, going to a major European or international competition. I don't think there should be any qualms about that. However, there was a lot of speculation that Gareth Southgate wouldn't take him. Those were put to rest when Gareth Southgate included him in the squad. However, in horrible luck, horrible irony, Trent has now been ruled out for 4 to 6 weeks, meaning he will actually miss the Euros through injury. Apparently, the injury is a grade 2 hamstring tear. If it is 4 to 6 weeks, then selfishly, from a Liverpool perspective, he will be back in time for pre-season. But again, it's a bitter pill to swallow for Trent. He would have really wanted to go to this, but he has got age and youth on his side, so God willing, he'll be able to get to a lot more international tournaments. From a Liverpool perspective, I think it's important that Trent gets some rest. I think he's been played a lot over the last few years, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he's starting to pick up some of these muscle injuries. I mean, earlier on in the season, he picked up a calf injury against Manchester City, was ruled out for a couple of weeks there. We have to preserve Trent, and he's in my opinion a generational talent. So you can't just burn him out, despite how good he is, despite how durable he is for his age. Right back is a very demanding position, and even more so in our system. So we have to really preserve him. So I hope Trent gets the rest he needs. I hope he's able to bounce back from this disappointment, and I hope we get to see the best of him next year and for many years to come. Also, in terms of England, how will they be able to cope without him in the Euros? Time will tell. I mean, it's a litmus test for Gareth Southgate now. Talk was that he didn't really want to take him at first. Now he has, so we'll see what he does and how he adapts without Trent. So next on the agenda is Alisson Becker, the player in the world with 100% shot to goal ratio. 1 shot, 1 goal. Killer in front of goal, as West Brom and Sam Allardyce found out. And news is that he is very close to signing a new deal with Liverpool Football Club. He has 2 years remaining on his current deal, and there is a lot of talk saying that this deal is very much close and could be over the line in the next couple of days. I pray to God that is the case, because in my opinion, Alisson is the best goalkeeper in world football, and he is at Liverpool Football Club. We let him go into his last 2 years of his contract. Dare I say, even his last year, we could be in massive trouble. It's good to get this tied up now. Good to get this over the line. Hopefully, it means he's more settled. Things at the club are more settled. Obviously, Matt and Drift over the last couple of days have spoken about Adrian and Kelleher. But Alisson is someone that we need to tie down, someone that we need to keep. So I'm very happy at this news. Hope to see it come over the line in the next few days. And hopefully we see Alisson in goal for us for many more years to come, because he has been brilliant. Yes, he has his moments where his kicking can be a bit dodgy. He'll make the odd mistake. But over the course of a season, this guy wins you points, not just from saves anymore, from goals too. So Alisson, long may he stay. And this is fantastic news. Right, on to the next topic. Elsid's Hysaj, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, or Hysaj. the Napoli fullback, whose contract expires this summer, has been linked with a move to Liverpool. Now, this is a very interesting development because he's been sort of touted over the last few years. I remember a few years ago, Chelsea were rumored to have put in a 50 million euro bid for him. So he's highly sought after a few years ago and kind of went off the boil. He's had a few injuries. So, for example, this season, he's had a calf problem, which ruled him out for 16 days. And he had COVID, unfortunately. 1920, he suffered a fracture. 17-18, he had a knee injury, but that only ruled him out for a few days. So his injury record isn't bad. I mean, it's actually quite decent when you look at the scale of football nowadays. But what is interesting about this deal is, I mean, about a week ago, news came out that Klopp was happy with his fullback options, that being Trent, Nico, Robbo, and Tsimikas. Now, this is where it gets interesting because there's been talk that Nico could be up for sale this summer, and we saw Southampton come with a bid for him in January that was rejected, and obviously we couldn't sell in January given how depleted the squad was. But now we're in summer, and if we can get Hysaj for free, and he's a player that can cover both fullback positions, so left back and right back, even though he's predominantly a right back, that covers Trent and covers Robbo and Tsimikas. So I get the logic in the deal. Now, losing Nico, although he's not of the quality of a Hysaj or the other fullbacks, he's a homegrown player. So if you lose Nico, then you've got to replace that homegrown player in the squad. However, let's say Nico goes for anything between 8 to 10 million. You're adding that to your transfer kitty and you're getting a replacement for free who's better and more ready right now and more established. He's an experienced Albanian international. He's playing for Napoli, who've been in Europe for years now. So none of what we will do as a football club will be new to him. So it makes sense as a deal. I'm a fan of Nico, even though I don't think he's necessarily ready just yet to be Trent's right back backup or be Liverpool's starting right back. But it makes sense. This deal makes sense. So if it were to happen, I'd be on board. If it's not going to happen, then I do still think we need reinforcements at right back. Otherwise, we have to look at playing Joe Gomez there when Trent needs a rest, which, again, is kind of counterproductive because you want Joe Gomez to now develop as a centre-back, especially with the injuries he's had and the inconsistency he's had. We really want him to develop as a centre-back to see if he can go on to be the centre-back we all want him to be. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on this news. It won't be the most glamorous signing of the summer if we make it, but it might be one of the most necessary. So time will tell on that. Next topic. The big man himself. I'm not talking about Thiago when you're looking at this picture. I'm talking about Naldini, the Bolton Baresi, Nathaniel Phillips. And it's come back to bite me a little bit because he's been linked with a move to Burnley. You'll know all year I've pretty much joked about Sean Dyche wanting Nat Phillips to join him at Burnley, given his attributes. However, it looks like Burnley are very serious on taking up a negotiation with Liverpool regarding the availability of Nat Phillips. Now, it looks as though Tarkowski is wanted by Leicester City. So if Tarkowski was to be sold by Burnley, they would obviously have a void in their squad. And Nat Phillips apparently is the man they want. And again, from a Burnley point of view, with all jokes aside, it makes sense for them. They're a team that usually plays a low block. They built themselves on having a strong foundation, not being easy to break down, difficult to play against, tough opposition when the ball's in the air. And Nat Phillips ticks all those boxes. Again, selfishly, I want Nat Phillips to stay because I think we need a big squad going into next season. I think 5 centre-backs is needed. And I think if you look at all the other top teams in the league, they have at least 5 centre-backs. If you look at Man United, again, I'm not saying they're all top quality or always available, but that is the point. You have 5 centre-backs, so at least 2 will be available for the majority of the season. So Man United, you've got Maguire, you've got Lindelof, Bailly, Twanzebe, and you've got Phil Jones. At Tottenham maybe is slightly less, but you've got Dyer, Alderweireld, Sanchez, and Rodon. I don't think I've missed anyone out from Tottenham, but again, they're rumoured to be in for a centre-back as well. So whether they lose one to get one remains to be seen. Then you've got other teams such as your Chelseas and your Man Cities who have gone into the season with 5 centre-backs as well. I think we need to do the same next season. Again, Nathaniel Phillips is another homegrown player. So losing 2 homegrown players in one summer and potentially having to replace them is going to be difficult. Otherwise, we're having to look to the academy. And again, are those players in the academy ready to make the step up? So it'll be very interesting to see how that one develops. And again, how much would we sell him for? I don't think he should go on the cheap. I'm seeing people saying around 10 million. I think that's extremely cheap for a player who's arguably been one of the most consistent centre-backs since the turn of the year and still has a good amount of time left on his contract. So for me, I'd be trying to push for around 20 million, especially if they're going to get Tarkowski sold and they'll make around 30 mil for that. I think you've got to push them and try and get as much money out of Burnley if you are going to sell. But selfishly, me personally, I wouldn't sell. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And then finally, Kylian Mbappe, or as man like Matt likes to call him, killer mentality. Bad news if you're someone who has optimism that he's joining. Fabrizio Romano, well-established journalist, has said that there is 0 chance, so no chance that Liverpool will sign Kylian Mbappe. Now, again, I've been fairly vocal about this. As much as I'd love Mbappe at the club, I don't see us getting him. I think it makes all the sense in the world for us to get him, but I don't think we'll get him. Fantastic player, will fit our system, in my opinion, whether we play him on the left, the right, or through the middle. I think he'll be least effective through the middle, but again, it's that versatility and the fact that he's such a good footballer and so young as well. But Fabrizio doesn't seem to think it's going to happen at all. Many other journalists don't seem to think it's going to happen. And I think what makes this deal even more difficult is PSG aren't in a position where they need to sell despite him only having 1 year left on the deal. But also you've got the Euros as well. Then you add on to the fact that his current price apparently is around 150 million euros if they were to sell. We haven't got that sort of money to splash around. It'd be nice to have that sort of money, but we haven't. And then if he goes and has a really good Euros, that 150 goes from 150 to maybe 180, 190. We definitely haven't got that sort of money. So I don't see Mbappe happening. I'd love to be proved wrong by the club, but I just don't see it happening. And I think we'll look at different options. Obviously, Rafinha's been linked. Sancho's been linked. Again, I don't see Rafinha happening. I don't see Sancho happening either. But one thing that is for certain, we do need to add attacking reinforcements. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be Kylian Mbappe. So people, that's it from me today. We will be back later for the Kopish call-in. So make sure you join us around 7 o'clock. And then on Monday, we'll be back again with another summer daily news show. And then we'll also have the Monday Night Live. If anything breaks over the weekend, be sure that you will see us here as well. So just saying a massive thank you for supporting. Do like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, people, stay safe, stay blessed. My name is Callum. We are Kopish, and we are out, people. Take care.